Welcome to day 2. We're on to letter B of 545s. Anybody who knows me knows that my favourite reggae record of all time is still Ailey and Ilaloo by 9 in the Observers. I first heard this off a tape from Brian Uncle Fee back in about 1972, and I remember hearing this. I thought, wow, that is just amazing. Not many other reggae people like it as much as I do, obviously, but it was also the B-side that he played me, and that was probably one of the first times I ever heard the beginnings of dub. So let's have a listen to this. 9 in the Observers, Ailey and Ilaloo version 2 this is.
One thing is good for nothing.
So there you go. It doesn't even sound like they've got faders for the different channels. It sounds like they're using a switch to actually go into the dub mixing. So that's Ailey and Ilaloo, came out in 1972, and I thought, because I'm so obsessed with this rhythm, these are all the different cuts that I've got, and this one was a bit of a kind of a Ken Lithgow mentioned that he had this one about 40 years ago, and before eBay and stuff like that, you'd never have a chance of finding it. But that's probably the, I don't know if you can see that, well, it's back to front on my camera, probably the other way around. It's called Another Poem, and the other side is called Big Hole. That's probably the most obscure version of that rhythm. These are all different cuts, and there's about 10 or 15 in all, and I think I've got them all. I know it's sad, but that's what happens when you get into reggae music. Right. Put that lid down there. So, moving forward. Black Roots, 1983. I was lucky enough to go out to Jamaica for the second time in 1983 before I had a child, and then that was the end of really buying music from about 1985 onwards. But there was a little sound system in the hotel in Ocho Rios, and he used to bring this out and he'd play this every week because it was right up there in the charts at the time. This is the great late Sugar Minot, and this one's called Dancehall Style. It's on the Black Roots record label. Memories.
They in a dancehall style for all the dancehall fans. Whether you doing lovers walking or you are going bang bang. And if you love at this, I really play forward. If you love at this, I really play forward. If you love at this, I music play forward. If you love at this, I really play forward. Let me tell you about the girl I know. She is my baby and I keep her indoors. Every evening at 4:30, she give me love until I want no more. And I know, oh yes I know, hallelujah, I just love her so. Give them your sound and style for all the sound.
Yeah, still love that one. Still brings back very happy memories. 1983, Black Roots. Right, another one on the Bullet label, and this will bring back a few memories for Kel Thomas, who I hope's having a look. And he'll probably, I've got a story about this one, and I'll see if he remembers it the same way that I do. But back in about I guess we're 14, maybe 1972, something like that, 71, 72, Tesco's in Bangor, although we didn't know at the time, had a load of Palma records that came in a big bin. And some little kid on the council estate where we live came home with it. He'd obviously been in the bin and found a song called The Return of Batman. And he didn't know anything about reggae, but obviously he was a Batman fan. And Kel, remember telling me, God, have you seen this? He said, I'm sure it's a reggae record. Because it doesn't really sound like a reggae record when you hear it. But and then we went there was loads of Camel, Escort, Crab, all those records, 10 pence each. We bought as many as I could afford. I wish I'd have bought a load more now because they're worth a small fortune. So this one, I haven't heard this for ages, The Return of Batman, Sydney's All Stars. Any instrumental with that kind of organ always does it for me. The Return of Batman, Sydney's All Stars. Right, 2 more to go. Going to go way back in time. An old Beverly's record, and this is where I'm going to give Chris Lane a mention, because I don't remember, Chris, if you listen to this, and I came to your house with Ken Lidgo many years ago, and you had a box full of records. That's the best 30 quid I ever spent. It's not in fantastic nick, but it's well worth having in your collection, this one, I think. Thanks, Chris. Jimmy Cliff and Miss Jamaica and Beverly's.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Believe me, I love you. Let's not be apart, 'cause you're the rose of my heart, and a sweet rose, you are my queen. You're my Miss Jamaica, my Miss Jamaica. You're my Miss Jamaica. I'm crowning you myself.
A little bit of proper original Jamaican ska there. I think that came out in about 1964, something like that. And I'm not sure if it wasn't, somebody's bound to correct me, the Jamaican Song Contest entry or winner of that year. Shout out to Barry Quinnell for this one. I wonder if he remembers spotting that one in Daddy Cool's records in London many, many moons ago. And he said, if that's what I think it is, you should get it. It was. I got it. Love it. Lyndall Thompson, Touch Up the Key. Operator for me.
Touch up the key, operator for me. Touch up the key, operator for me. Forward for the Rockford posse, forward for the downtown posse, forward for the New York posse, forward for the Canada posse. When the music is sweet, no way you can resist, you know, no way. You got to keep your feet stamping, and you got to keep your hands moving. Music is the key of the world. Without music, you know, how would I live? How would I sing my way?
There you go. Thanks for all the comments yesterday. That's letter B done. See you tomorrow for letter C. Stay well, folks. Stay well.